am working on our daily oral reading for day 3. We got Bonnie Butterfly, so have that out. Boys and girls, I have several questions about this. Just kind of go over it real quick. On number 1, it says circle the word in the paragraph that has the same consonant blend as angry. We know a consonant is not a vowel, correct? So we know we're not looking at the A in angry. We're looking at the consonant. We're looking at N-G-R-Y. So I know when I'm looking at it, I need to look for a word in the paragraph that has N-G-R-Y in it. Alright, so do it on your paper. We're not going to answer that just yet. We're going to go over in a few minutes. But on your paper, look for a paragraph that has the same blend of consonants, N-G-R-Y. Thumbs up if you're still working. Alright, boys and girls, please get something up to check with. We're going to start reviewing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Who would like to begin by reading the paragraph out loud nice and loud? Stephen, can you read it nice and loud for me? Excellent, thank you. Number 1, circle the word in a paragraph that has the same consonant blend as angry. Angry. Joey? Hungry. Hungry, good. You can see that hungry has the N-G-R-Y at the end, just like angry has N-G-R-Y at the end. The same blend of consonants in the word. Number 2, what does exhausted mean? Kylie? Tired. It means really tired. You're really tired. Excellent. Number 3, what does dare mean to Bonnie? Did another butterfly dare her to land? Jonathan?
It means to her if she likes to land later to the delicious looking flowers or not, and no other butterfly dares her to land there.
Good. So no one did dare her to land, but it means that she's unsure. She's a little bit frightened about landing. So it means she's nervous. Good. Number 4, Bonnie Butterfly has only just learned how to fly. Circle the sentence that tells you that. Anais? Just follow me.
She felt very comfortable flying, but landing is still hard.
Good. She felt very comfortable flying, but landing was so hard for her. Good job, boys and girls. Please put this away in your binder somewhere where you can find it. We're going to continue adding on to this throughout the week. And please get out your reading textbook and turn to page 244. Okay, boys and girls, so yesterday we listened to and followed along with So You Want to Be President? That was our first read. We got the gist of the story. We did a little bit of digging inside the story where we answered our reader response questions and we had a discussion with our partners. Today we're going to go even deeper in the story, but we're still working on some of those lower level thinking skills. We're going to be thinking about knowledge, comprehension, and application related to the story. You're going to be working with your group at your table, and I'm going to pass out some cards to you. Each card has a task on it. So each one of these deals with a different area of thinking. One deals with application from what we've learned in the story. The second is comprehension, understanding the story. And the third one is knowledge. What did we learn from the story? What do we know about the story? Each one of those has a different task. On some of them, I have made a little post-it note on there. This one says make a model. We don't have the supplies to make a model, but you will be making a drawing instead. So you're going to, the only supplies you're really going to need for this is your book, your pencil, and a sheet of paper. Those are the only supplies that you're going to need for this. Now you're going to be working in a group. You all are going to be doing all of the cards. You're going to be working together. I'm not going to pass out the cards and have someone choose to do one of the cards. We're doing all of the cards as a group. Some of the cards have you do a skit on it. Those groups who are doing a skit, I will let you use your level 1 voices in the hallway and practice in the hallway. I'm going to give you 15 minutes per card to work. I'm going to set the timer for 15 minutes, and then that will be your cue to move on to your second card, and you get another 15 minutes, and then the third one. And at the end, we're going to share what we have done. Some of you will be sharing drawings that you've made, some of you will be sharing facts you have found, and some of you will be sharing your skits as a group. Everyone is to participate in this, and everyone is to use their level 1 voices. The level what? 1. Which is a whisper. Do not start talking over each other. You're going to be using a whisper. Please work together to get this done. No fussing and arguing. We're just going to be working together. I'm going to come around and pass these out. It is my suggestion that you work on the easier ones first, like the drawing, and then work on the harder ones later, like the skit. You're going to be working with the people at your table. You're not going to be taking partners from around the room, just with the people at your table. Does anyone have any questions? Yes, Kayme. The skit is like a little acting. You're taking part of the story and then writing a little script, or maybe reading it and then acting it out together. All right, boys and girls, I'm going to be passing this out. You need to read them and share them with your group members so you all know too, and then collaboratively decide what you're going to work on first. Okay? I will come around and check in with each one of you to help you get started and check in with you as you're working. Please let me know if you have any questions. Raise your hand, but most importantly, please work together and make sure you're using your level 1 voices.
So much homework.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so we took 15 minutes on our first card. Now we're going to switch cards and move on to our second. Please remember to use level 1 voices if like someone is starting to talk over each other. Remember to use those level 1 voices and work on card number 2. Again, you get 15 minutes. Okay. So use level 1 voices and start working on that second card. Mrs. Burgos' class, you're getting a red tip. You are using loud voices right now. You need to be on level 1 voices, and I gave you a warning. You need to be using level 1 voices. Five, 4, going to move on to our third card. Again, 15 minutes. After this third card, we're going to present what we've been working on with the class. I'm going to start the timer for 15 minutes.
We're just practicing. People get mad at the president. Someone once threw a cabbage at William Howard Taft. And I didn't know Taft. I see that one of my concerns. I see someone. People choose a river as soon as I say someone people get mad. I see. Okay, I That's what we're doing. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please return back to your seats. Keep your voices off and have a seat. So we just spent the past 45 minutes working on getting to know our story a little bit better with lower level thinking, our knowledge, our comprehension, and our application. Now we're going to take some time to review and present what we have been doing.
Hi, my name is Kayme Beverly, and this is my reflection on my lesson that I taught. In this lesson, I had to consider behavior management since students were working together in cooperative learning groups. I have several students in my class who are very talkative and can get off task easily. They also have a tendency to influence some other students and get those students to become off task as well. So because of this, I first planned for behavior issues by considering the students who would be grouped together. Prior to this lesson, I moved some students around so they would not be talking. Also, I moved the students who tend to argue with each other. I moved them away. And I also have one particular student who likes to argue, so she was placed in a group with students she works well with. During the lesson, I monitored these students frequently and checked to make sure they were on task. You can see I'm at the back table during the lesson with some kids, and those are the kids that I needed to keep an eye on. I also planned for noise control throughout the lesson by using the school's leveled voice system. Level 0 voices means your voices are off. Level 1 is what is expected during group work. I planned to remind students to use level 1 voices, and I told them during instruction because I wanted them to know my expectations clearly prior to the lesson and throughout the lesson. My mentor teacher has a red chip, blue chip system. When the class as a whole makes good decisions and gives positive behavior, they receive a blue chip in a cup. When the class makes poor behavior choices, they receive a red chip in a cup. On Friday, we draw a chip out of the cup, and if it's a blue chip, the class gets a mystery motivator from a folder. If they get a red chip, they do not get the mystery motivator. The more good choices they make, the more chance of getting a blue chip. I plan on using this to help me monitor the class's behavior as a whole, and I had to use this during my lesson because the class was told to use their level 1 voices and they got too loud. So I gave the class a red chip, and it worked well. The class continued to keep a low level voice during the rest of the lesson. During the lesson, I had one classroom management challenge, and that was keeping the noise level down. Some students are talkative and louder than others, and when they start to get loud, the whole room starts to get loud. I reminded students to use their level 1 voices, but it still got too loud in the room, so I had used the red chip, blue chip system. And it did work well, and the students responded by lowering their voices. This is my first time actually seeing myself teach on video, and I learned a lot by watching myself teach. I know that I need to slow down my speech because I felt I spoke too fast, and it might have been challenging for some students to understand, especially my two English as a second language students. I felt I did well with clearly explaining my expectations. However, I think I give my students too many choices before correcting their, or too many chances before correcting their behaviors. This is something that my mentor teacher and I have discussed, and it's something I'm striving to improve upon. I want students to know that I mean what I say and that I have high expectations of them in my classroom, high enough that they can perform well and achieve these expectations. So I need to ensure that I follow up on my expectations immediately. I saw myself in the video saying use your level 1 voices repeatedly, and there was a couple times when I was going through it that I saw myself getting a little nervous, and I felt nervous when I was doing it because the noise level was getting too high, and I felt like I was maybe starting to lose that control of the classroom. And this is something that could be a huge problem in my own classroom when I am on my own, because it's an easy way for students to take control of the classroom rather than me. So, like I said, I could feel the students getting louder and louder, and I felt myself becoming more nervous, and that was a cue to me that I was actually losing control of the classroom and I needed to rein it in. However, in the future, I need to stop the problem before it gets to that point. I could see watching the video that at the point in which I should have given the red chip, and it's much sooner than when I actually did give that red chip. And there were several students that I had to speak to quietly that I probably should have told to pull their card rather than giving them those extra chances. The school uses a color-coded card system, and if a student misbehaves, they have to pull their card, and the first one's a warning, the second one's 5 minutes off recess, and so on. So there's a couple students in there that I spoke to quietly a couple times that I should have actually made them move their card because they are ones that would like to challenge, and that's something that I need to work on prior to having my own classroom. Overall, it was an amazing experience to see myself teach and to see what it looks like as an observer in the classroom when I'm running the classroom, and just to be able to have eyes on the entire class at once and myself. And I look forward to doing this assignment again and learning about student engagement and differentiation. And yeah, it was great. Thank you.